Hi, we're going to do a chair yoga with a focus on the lower body. You're going to need a yoga strap. If you do not have a yoga strap, you can use a towel, you could use a necktie, a scarf, anything like that. So we will just set our straps down. You might also need, if folding forward is a little bit difficult for you, you might want to have a pillow or a couple of blankets handy so that you can lay them across your lap, and when you fold forward, you just have a little bit of something there to support you, to keep the stress out of your lower back. So with that, let's get started. Sitting up nice and tall, your feet are planted firmly on the ground. Your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Let's just begin with some nice deep breaths together. So inhaling nice and deep. Exhaling nice and long. We'll do that just a couple more times together, just to ground ourselves and get ready for our practice. Inhaling nice and deep. And exhaling out nice and long. One more time, nice big inhale. And nice long exhale. And then we are going to start out with just a forward fold. And this is where, if you need a little bit of support, if your lower back doesn't like for you to lean down quite as far, having a pillow or a blanket or two here can be nice. So if you feel like you need that, go ahead and grab those now. We're just gonna, on an exhale, just take our hands and just let them drop down our body, keeping our spine long, and then letting it go, letting the head be heavy. We'll just hang out here for a couple of breaths, feeling a nice release in our back and down the back side of our legs. If you let your head be heavy here, you'll get a nice stretch down the back of your neck as well. And then to come back up, just place your hands on your knees or the tops of your legs and just help yourself up there. Just a nice opening stretch. So now we're going to grab our strap or our ties or belts or whatever you are using for this. And we're just going to do a single leg stretch. So we're going to take the strap around our foot and just kind of use our arms here to kind of pull that leg out in front of us, really flexing our toes kind of back towards our face. We're going to hold that for a few breaths. If it feels good, you might hinge forward at the hips and just kind of enhance that stretch down the back of that right leg. Hold that there for a few more breaths. That just feels really nice. And then coming back up, relaxing that right foot down to the floor. Place your left foot into the strap, just switch that out, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. So again, using our upper body strength here, we're just going to pull that foot up, extending that leg out long in front of us, really flexing the feet back towards your face, feeling a nice stretch down the back of that left leg and on into the left foot even. Hold that here for just a couple more breaths. And releasing that foot back down to the floor. Just bring your strap or your tie or whatever you're using back, and maybe just rest it on your lap or rest it on the chair there. And we're going to sit up nice and tall, and let's extend our right leg out in front of us. And let's just do some nice big ankle rolls here. Rolling in one direction, really big, slow, kind of working on the mobility here in the ankle. and then changing and moving it in the opposite direction. Nice, big, slow movements. You might hear some pops and cracks. I know I do. And placing your right foot down onto the floor, and let's just extend your left foot out in front of you. Some nice big ankle circles here on the left foot as well. And go in the opposite direction. And resting that foot, move back a little bit so my feet are seen just a little bit better. Rest that left foot down on the floor, maybe sitting up nice and tall. Let's take just a few breaths here again together. Inhaling and exhaling fully. A couple more times, inhaling nice and deep. Exhaling out all the breath. One last time, nice big inhale. And one nice big exhale. Now let's take that strap back in our hands. We're going to take it down around our right foot again. And using our upper body strength, we're going to take that foot up. We have a couple of different options here. If it feels good, you can just kind of bring that foot up and rest your ankle on your knee. If that feels like a little bit too much, if you feel any pressure or pulling on your knee, we don't want that. So you could actually just kind of hold your leg out to the side there. If that still feels like too much, you can even have that. You might have to come more to the edge of your chair, but have your foot on the floor and just kind of encouraging that hip to open up. We're going to take our ankle up onto our knee. You should feel a nice stretch in the outside of that right hip. If that feels good and you feel like you have a little bit more space, you can hinge forward at the hips and just kind of come over that front leg. You can even hang out on the front leg, resting your elbows here. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. It's a really, really good hip opener. And pressing back up if you're hinged over. We're just going to take the strap, lift our leg up, place our foot down on the floor. We're going to put our left foot into the strap and remove the right. And same options available to you on this side. Don't judge. Each side of our body is different. So just because something felt good on the right side does not mean that it will on the left. So you can lift up on the foot. It may be that here is where you are. Your foot can be on the floor, encouraging that hip to open. Or if it's available to you, just resting your ankle on your knee. And again, if it feels good, you can hinge forward at the hips. Maybe resting your forearms, your elbows on that top leg. And we're just going to hang out here for a few breaths, really enjoying a nice opening on that left hip. And slowly we're just going to press back up. Let's lower that foot down to the floor. We're going to remove that strap for just a moment, but keep it handy. So just lay it across your lap or sit it on the chair in between your knees. We're going to do some twists to kind of open up through the spine and through the lower back, which is also part of the lower body. So sitting up nice and tall, let's inhale our arms up overhead. And on an exhale, let's twist to the right, placing your left hand on the outside of your right knee, maybe grabbing hold of either the bottom of the chair or the back of the chair with the right hand, and just sitting up nice and tall, really wringing out that spine, feeling a nice opening in the lower back. If it feels good, you can take your gaze out over your right shoulder, also enjoying a nice little stretch on the neck there. We'll hang out here for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, just release your hand, unwind the spine, and come back to center. And let's take a nice big inhale, our arms up overhead. And on an exhale, let's just twist to the opposite side, taking our right hand on the outside of that left knee, our left hand either on the side or the back of that chair, sitting up nice and tall, chin's parallel to the floor. And maybe you gaze out over that left shoulder and enjoy a nice stretch in the neck on this side as well. Again, we'll be here for a couple of breaths. On your next inhale, just releasing the hands and coming back to center. That felt really nice. Now let's use this strap again. This time we're going to wrap it around both of our feet. We have a couple different options here. So it kind of depends. You can choose whichever one you find that you enjoy the most. But this time we're going to do a double leg forward fold. So using our upper body strength, really flexing those feet back towards our face. And if it feels good, you can hinge forward at the hips. If you don't like that, also an option here, coming more towards, maybe more towards the edge of your chair and just folding forward over the legs. I really like using the strap. Some people don't like that though. So again, if it feels good, you can hinge forward at the hips, just enjoying a nice stretch down the back of both legs and an opening in the lower back as well. Couple more breaths here. And then slowly kind of walking up our strap, setting our feet down on the floor. And we can actually just set these straps off to the side now because we're done with those. We're going to do a couple side bends to each side, just kind of opening up through our side body here before we end. So sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale your arms up overhead. And exhaling, taking your right hand down to the bottom of the chair and just leaning over to the side, enjoying a nice stretch down the side body. Maybe taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. A little stretch in the neck. We'll hold that here for a couple of breaths. And on an inhale, let's come back up to center, raising our arms up overhead. And on an exhale, let's just hold on to the bottom of the chair with our left hand and just lean over to the side, enjoying a nice side opening on our right side as well. Maybe taking our gaze up to the ceiling, enjoying that stretch in our neck. We'll hold that here for a couple of breaths. And inhaling as we come back up to center, raising our arms up overhead. And on an exhale, let's just lower our arms, place our hands on our lap. Sit up nice and tall, relaxing our shoulders down away from our ears. And let's just end with 3 nice, big, deep cleansing breaths together. So on your next inhale, just really feel up the lungs and the belly. And open your mouth and exhale, let it go. Again, inhale, filling up through the belly and the lungs and the chest. Open your mouth and let it go. One more time, nice big inhale. And open your mouth and let it go. Last time, inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, this time bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.